I like that shirt, Shawn. What's that say? There are 2 rules in fishing. Number 1, never give out all the information. Where's the second rule?
There you go, bud.
Kind of like Fight Club, you know?
You just don't talk about it?
Never give up all the information.
You know what? Is there still rules? Forget tournament rules. Let's just talk about in general on the water. Is there rules in fishing?
I think there's rules before you get in the lake.
I think there's etiquette.
Like boat ramp etiquette?
Kind of.
Give us some examples, Mark.
You know what? You stage your boat before you're even close to the ramp.
I
right?
agree. And the worst part, too, is like pulling it out. Like pull it out of the way and go put your stuff on over there and pull your graphs off and put your... Like doing it, blocking the ramp drives me nuts.
And when we do it, we do a lot of smaller lakes with club stuff, and you use launches that aren't always a public launch, or even if they are, and there's private marinas and stuff. And the amount of people that I've seen like backing their minivans down that are chock full, and then they're right at the ramp and they're taking it off there and putting it onto their boat at the dock. I don't know how long we waited the other day on Baptiste. That happened twice. And
that's it.
Yeah,
So
it was crazy.
If I remember right, that's like a down the hill launch, right? Tight corner. Is that where you launched?
Yeah, it was like a little marina. I don't remember
Yeah.
what it was called, but it was like, super nice people. They had ice cream too, which was even a bonus.
Oh.
And they had XD100 oil.
There you go. You still burn oil?
I burn oil. Yeah. It's 2022. I still burn oil.
My truck burns oil.
Does it ever?
It does.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a story for another time.
You can smell it.
Yeah, we're going to keep that story off the air for a bit. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, Shawn? Like, what's the rules of the water for you?
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily rules. There's proper etiquette, like don't cut guys off. If you see guys are fishing a certain direction, you don't roll up in your tin boat and cut them right off 20 feet in front of them.
That's probably one of the worst rules you could break. Tournament or no tournament.
I've never done that.
No.
Are you sure?
Never.
Are you sure?
Let's rewind to this past Friday.
I don't remember anything on Friday.
No. Well, Friday morning, we were up at a secret lake, a backwoods lake.
Yes.
and we did some tin boat fishing.
Wasn't that
yeah, we
awesome,
did.
though? In all serious note, how awesome was that?
I had an absolute blast, guys.
It was, you know what?
It was so fun.
So we'll back up to your story about us cutting you off, Danny and I, because we 100% did. I will full on admit. At one point, we thought about ramming you, but your boat was faster than ours.
Oh, yeah.
So your boat was a speedboat.
Yeah, it was.
So-
It's the hull design, right?
So let's back up. So we went into this lake, and etiquette again. Let's talk about the cars blocking the trail.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
we're way up on this back road, like way northern. We're in not northern Ontario, but we're far north of the GTA. We're basically at Algonquin Park.
We're
That's
a half
where we
hour
are.
back in the bush.
Yeah, so we're a 40-minute truck ride back in the bush down a dirt road. So we're going into this back lake, and we were going to target lake trout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So great lake back there. There's some bass in it for sure, as we found out. But long story short, we get there, and there's this little trail, and it's probably, 120 yards in?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say that.
Something like
Yeah.
that. And I've fished this lake many times. Me and my brothers, my buddy Josh, like we fished this lake a few times this summer. So as we get there, and there's these 2 vans blocking this trail. And it's tight. Like, it's thick trees, all this stuff. We couldn't get our boats through. And it's pretty simple. You park out on the road, you pull off to the side, you don't block the trail where guys got to get in, right?
Right.
So anyways, that was problem number 1. So etiquette. It's almost like boat ramp etiquette. You're going into launch. So we decided that we can't get our boats through because we didn't want to damage their vehicles.
Right.
We literally couldn't fit them. It's poison ivy everywhere. We
And
didn't want to
it's thick
go.
bush.
It's
Like
thick.
you were
No dragon.
walking
Yeah.
sideways just to get through. There's no way we were bringing 2 like tin boats in there.
No, 100%. So what we did is we went back to the way of the north. As I was always taught and raised, there's always at these back lakes, there's boats everywhere.
Right.
You can tell, and there's another side of this lake. You guys didn't see it, but there's about 20 boats there. And guys, the rule is always, if they're not chained up, you use them, you just put them back where you find them. Old boys don't care. One of the boats we did find out, I did confirm the blue one, it does belong to the camp.
Yeah.
Yep,
Is it?
the
Yeah.
one you guys are in. We might need to
Sweet.
fix that hole.
Speedboat.
Yeah. So anyways, we ended up borrowing a couple boats, which I don't think they've been used in years.
Right.
No.
we took
Ours
our-
was a leaker.
Yeah, we took our chances. The one me and Danny was in was solid. We put our electric trolling motors on them, and we went out fishing. We had to paddle through a beaver pond, get it on the lake. But how awesome was that? It's different.
It was pretty cool.
The best part, there was no bugs.
There was no bugs. We
Not
lucked
really.
out.
There was a few, but there was not what there could have been.
No.
You know.
So we get out there, and we're rigging up to go and jig some lake trout. And I saw you guys were going for this like beautiful down log in the water.
Yeah, nice tree.
Yeah, real nice tree.
Oh, so this is when you guys were fishing the middle of the lake and we were fishing the shoreline. And then from the middle of the lake, you noticed a beautiful tree. I'm just trying to set this up. Is this what happened?
Kind of.
What I remember.
Right? So, we maybe took a line that was a little too direct into your line.
Like 20 feet in front of us.
Yeah, and we cut you off, and what happened? Danny did what?
Danny caught a 6-pound largemouth off that tree.
Danny threw at that tree with his trout set up, and he got a 6-pound largemouth right on the dot, right on the scale.
Yep.
Wow. Was it
$5.99?
We're going to call it
Yeah,
six,
yeah, we'll
man,
call
for
it
the sake
six.
of him. How awesome was that fish?
It didn't look like a 6-pounder where we were, because we kept going on our drift and said, you know what?
Screw
let
those
them,
guys.
Let them fight their pipe.
You guys
know
were
what I mean?
you were a little upset for a minute.
No, we weren't upset, dude.
No.
To see him catch that fish, why would he be upset?
Oh, we did cut you.
Yeah.
Well, that's his personal best now in Ontario.
So what was wicked about that was it wrapped him up in that tree, right? So he thought he was going to lose it. And I got to look at that fish, and I was in the back of the boat, and I'm like, that's a big fish. Now I'm thinking it's probably 5, whatever. Anyways, good trolling motor boat skills by myself. I get us all Jimmy rigged out there. He gets it off the tree. He's loving life right now, Danny. He went from like, I'm going to lose it to it's off. I got it.
Yeah, your tiller skills were on point.
He gets her. He gets her off. Like, I don't know if I've seen anyone that pumped in a boat in a long time.
He was still talking about it today.
We're gonna show the picture right now as we're talking here. Like, you should see this kid's face. How pumped he was.
Oh yeah.
What a
fish.
beautiful looking, clean,
Back
healthy, nice colors. What a gorgeous fish that was.
I bet you that fish has never even seen a lure.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe
There's
not.
no
Maybe
chance
not.
it didn't.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. We're pretty far back in the bush.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. So I want to do more of that. I do a ton of that already, but there's something about fishing in a 10 boat. And you guys,
There was no other boats fishing that lake. There was nobody else fishing the lake from shore or anything. We had that whole lake to ourselves.
No,
Yeah.
there wasn't a cottage on the lake.
No.
There wasn't a dock. There was nothing.
Nothing. No, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yep. So back to boat etiquette.
Don't cut people off.
Hey, right? Because stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Right now, if that was a tournament,
And we weren't buddies.
Be fighting words.
somebody's going for a swim.
I'll tell you, you wouldn't have got a tow back.
We were just trying to. Well, our battery was low because we found all the fish, and we were trying to get you guys to come over.
And we left with all the beer.
Well, so it happens. But I'm just saying. So we were trying to get you guys to come over, and Danny willed on a bunch there. It was fun using the live scope. There's one. We were finding them out. Like 36 feet of water was the sweet spot. They were just kind of starting to stage up those trout. They weren't quite like the fall, a little bit shallower in that lake. But what a blast!
Yeah, it was a good time.
It inspired me. I want to build the ultimate tin boat.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'm thinking like, you hear me out here.
What size? Are we?
Probably 14 foot.
14. Yeah, good size.
We're going to build a casting deck on the front.
Good start.
We're going to mount a Garmin Force on it.
Ooh, dynamite.
So it's going to have 24 volts, lithium batteries in it somewhere. We're going to put a 12-inch Garmin EchoMap Ultra on the front, a 12-inch on the back, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Geiger Tech mounts all around. YOLO Tech stick. Once again, thank you for sponsoring the show. YOLO Tech, check them out. On the back, film and everything. Imagine if I wish I had that on camera.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? We
that
didn't
was
have
a great fight. You got wrapped in the tree. You got it out.
I
You
know.
got the boat skills going on. That would have been good to have on film.
It would have been fantastic. But I'm thinking we build the world's ultimate tin boat over this winter, and we display it at the show on April 2nd at CanCast.
All right. If there's anybody out there that has an idea that should be on a tin boat for fishing, throw it in.
Okay, so this
throw it in.
you know
got
what?
inspiration, like good idea or something?
It's still got to be light because we got to carry
Oh,
it.
Gotta carry it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and we could wrap it, but we'll get a little bit banged up. But we'll talk to Moose about putting some good decals on it.
Oh, we got to wrap it.
So we got to wrap it. So we're gonna
If
wrap
we're
it.
going to
for the
display
show.
it, it's got to be wrapped.
So we're gonna put a motor on it too, a portable one that can come on and off depending on where you're fishing, like a lightweight 4-horse or something.
Four hosts on a 14-footer?
Maybe we better build two. Maybe we better build two. There's enough guys. So any of you boat manufacturers out there that want to get on board with this project, we're all yours. But where was it going with this? So it kind of reminds me of that show Meteor did called Das Boat. You guys ever watch that
Yeah, I did
one?
see that where they built the boat. Yeah, yeah.
How cool is that? So
That
what they
was
do
cool.
is they build this boat, and it was like the first season was like an old fiberglass boat he got from his neighbor. And what they do is they sent it all over the United States fishing, and every person, they would pass it off to one guy. So it'd be like me passing, hey, Shawn, here's this boat, your turn. And everybody would do something different.
Everybody would do a project on that boat.
And fish it. And it is the coolest series. Like, if you have not checked it out yet, it's on YouTube, the whole series. Das Boat, it's on the Meat Eater channel. There's 2 seasons, I think. I really liked the first season. The second season was good, but I think the first was better. That's what it's all about. Like, you don't need $100,000 boat to have fun.
No, you don't.
We proved that on the weekend because I had a blast, and
we laughed the whole time.
It was probably a $300 combo, our boat, eh?
Oh,
maybe
maybe
500.
Oh, we had an old car battery, deep cycle battery off the trailer. We took right up front of the trailer.
Yeah.
In the morning, I said, "What battery do you want?" Kyle says, "It doesn't matter to me, right?" So I gave him the little one. So we had the jam, buddy.
Well, you got the fat guy in the back of the front, right?
How awesome! You know what? There's something about a Tim boat though, and I think being up in a lake like that where it's so quiet. It was quiet, right? Other than us yelling at you guys across the lake.
No gas motors allowed up.
No gas motors allowed in that one. Sorry, actually, in that lake there is, but it's so far back, guys just don't bother.
Good luck.
Right?
Yeah, how would you get it in there?
Well, like a 2-horse you could or whatever. But and I guess if you had your quad, that'd be a little easier. But it's so quiet and it's so peaceful when you're just using those electric motors and you're just jigging. It's like you talk differently to each other. You know what I mean? Like, I know when you're fishing tournaments, you're on the front and you're both, but it's always like when you're in tournament mode, like you're in tournament mode, right? Like you're thinking differently, your pressure's on, you're doing. But when you're just out there and like it doesn't matter what you catch, like you're just loving life. It's easy going. You're catching some fish. You're talking about stuff. You're
laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We giggled all day.
Yeah, we did.
All day.
Yeah, that was fun. And then we tied the boats together. You guys towed us home side by side.
Had like the catamaran going.
Well, you had the live scope going.
Yeah.
You were calling the fish, and we were dropping down to them.
Yeah, that was wicked.
Yeah, caught a fish on my new rod, my new Cody Meyer drop shot rod.
I love that rod.
Yeah, got that for my birthday, couple weeks ago.
It's one of my favorite rods
ever. I love it.
Dude, we have sold so many of those things.
I never thought my first fish on that rod would be a Laker, though.
Nice Lake. They're pretty fish,
I never thought it would be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that was a good time up there for sure. So, okay, so let's loop back here. Tin boat project. I'm 100% committed to this because I was going to do it anyways, but I think it should be a fun CanCast project.
We can do that.
Simple. There's not much to it. We can pull this off.
We can do that. I love doing stuff like that. I love fabricating stuff. I love building stuff. I love putting it together. I like seeing the finished product.
Yeah.
Crossing that finish line.
And I'm thinking too, though, we change it up, and this is where we get like some of our fabricating friends involved. I want to build like a real good trailer that's good for bouncing down those back roads. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I want a trailer, like a good axle, good wheels and tires on it that you can pound down those gravel roads.
I don't know. I think I'd want to put it in the back of the truck. I think I'd want to stick to the truck deal.
I agree with that for most time, but there's times where I want to pull it with my side-by-side.
Yeah.
To get into some of those back lakes.
Strapper on top.
Yeah, well, see, what we did with the four-wheelers, we used to take the John boat back, and we built what they call the Rick-a-marack.
Rick-a-marack.
I love it already.
Yeah, we had it all welded up out of aluminum, and it bolted right on to the front rack of our four-wheeler and the back rack of the four-wheeler, and it sat over top of us.
Okay,
right? The boat went upside down over top of us.
I've seen those, yeah.
Right, and then we strapped the motor down to the back rack, and all our other gear was on the front rack. Like, there was still lots of room, and
so we got to build a Rick-a-marack.
Yeah, a Rick-a-marack would be good. I still got one kicking around somewhere.
You can have a bit of weight on it. We're gonna have that force, a couple big batteries.
Yeah, you can't go too fast though, because they get a little top end heavy, and sometimes you.
Here comes another story.
Yeah, you wipe her out, right?
Oh,
so then
you slide right into the lake upside down.
Yeah, no, I bit her once pretty hard. We were ripping out of the trail pretty good, and come around a bend, and I caught a boulder on the one side, raised her up just a little too much.
I don't know if you've ever rode ATVs with Shawn, but he has one speed. Gone.
Gone. We'd be good buddies.
It happens. Yeah, I like to go fast.
Yeah. You know, I still think a 10-boat event, like a tournament, would be fun.
It would be.
Like, we'll run it like a kayak tournament where we use the measuring boards and the app.
Sure.
2 guys per boat. Like, one random lake. And, like, just have a blast.
Sure.
We should do that.
I'm in.
I bet
Sure.
you, and like I bet you there's guys, so many guys have a tin boat. Get them anywhere. Like people got them laying around all over the place.
You know, that would be a cool kind of tournament if you could do that, and then guys could fish whatever lake they wanted to fish.
Do it online.
Right?
We could do it online.
Yeah.
You could do it
Everybody can
online,
just go
yeah.
out. They could take their kids out on their own lake or the backwoods lake or whatever lake.
If you guys are listening, let us know your thoughts on this. The CanCast Tinner League.
Why not?
Why not?
You know?
Yeah. So before any tournament series rips us off on that, just talk to us first. We'll work with you. Yeah. So
It's the under one series.
yeah, exactly. Electric only.
Yeah.
No, like 9.9, 15 and under. 15 horse.
I'd go 20 and under.
20 and under.
Even 25, because
20
some of those tenders carry 25s.
25s. Yeah.
I think
25, 16 foot and under boat.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be fun.
I think people would like
Back,
that.
we should get
You know,
some,
you
we
could
should,
do 2 divisions, you know, with guys with motors, guys without motors.
man, like,
You know what I mean?
yeah, we should do it.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I like it. Honestly, the whole point of this podcast, this trade show, everything we're kind of working on here, it's just to grow the sport. Like we want to talk about the social side of fishing. Like at the end of the day, yeah, we all want to win $10,000 fishing, but I just want to go out there and have a good time with my buddies. And I think an event like that would be a really fun day.
Oh, 100%.
I love it. Okay, we're gonna put that on the books for next year.
Okay, schedule it in.
All right, what's gonna schedule?
Can we
in?
turn the orange building into a workshop?
We could.
Yeah.
Don't mention the orange building.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Top
yeah.
secret location.
Okay, yeah, we got to.
Actually, I got a funny
Edit,
story.
edit.
No, I don't edit. I got a funny story about that. So, when we built the website for the show, which we're not quite up yet, working on it. Moose is helping me out with that stuff, getting stuff going right. And I got me and Woody were working on the podcast. I got the whole CanCast being registered on Google and all that stuff. Well, anyway, somehow I screwed up and I put it as the CanCast fishing store instead of show.
Oh, nice.
So right now, my wife, she's a real estate agent, right? She's on some real estate software program that you see property lines and stuff, but it goes off Google Earth. And she's like, honey, why does it show our address as the CanCast fishing store with a store emblem? I'm like, what? Well, then I'm at East Hill the next day, and Kevin was popping up. We were looking at some hunting ground and stuff. I was showing Kevin my property. I was asking for his advice on some hunting stuff, and it pops up CanCast fishing. And I don't know how it started. Just a week ago, I've got a phone call every single day asking if I sell bait.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And then another guy asking if I do fishing charters, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. So I went on Google, I edited everything up. They have to approve it.
The market.
Yeah, so it's all there. So to all the local dealers around me, this was not intentional. I've actually sent everybody your guys' way. So, but it's a funny story. But yeah, we definitely got a workshop. We got a full heated shop we can do this in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this brings back. I love fishing. Like these are some of what we did last Friday is going to be a memory that I'm going to have forever. Like the fun we had watching Danny catch that fish, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Which, like, what is your guys' best memory in fishing?
Best memory?
Or just something that stands out in your mind? A couple of them. We got all night.
One of my best memories, I went with Cooper and Danny down to
Kentucky?
we went down to Kentucky Lake to practice for Costa Championship a few years ago. And we went down there day one. It was January 1st or 2nd. Day one, we were fishing in T-shirts. It was 15 degrees. It was beautiful. Day two, it was snowing and minus 10.
Holy smokes.
It was crazy weather. But they were both with me for my personal best. I got a great big largie, and I seen it. I
feel like I remember seeing a picture of this.
I seen it on the down imaging, and I threw back to it, and it ate it, and it was pretty cool because it was like 7-1.
That's awesome.
I think. Yeah. Between 7-1 or 7-10. I don't know. It was like one of the two.
That's like a whole bag for Mark Hunter in a tournament.
My personal best is 7:39. So.
Yeah.
Actually, that was that 2 falls ago?
No, that was this spring.
Where
Lake
was
Fork?
Okay, but didn't you catch an Ontario fish like 2?
He was 6'3".
He was a big fish.
He was a big fish.
I remember
and
that
he
one.
didn't even get another month. If I caught that in a month, it would be close to 8 pounds, I'll bet.
Yeah, that thing was a beauty.
Whoa.
Dude, I'll bet you it would have been.
You are relaying bets here?
Yep.
How big?
It was 6'3", but it was skinny.
It was skinny.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big fat. Like there was smallmouth. We caught a smallmouth like 2 minutes after it that was 4.5.
Was it largie
and
or
it was
smaller?
fat. It was a largie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long was it?
This long.
Wow.
I hope I'm out of the frame right
Dude,
now.
that one Danny caught, like the belly on it.
That was a thick fish right through and
Holy
through.
Oh, yeah.
smokes. Like, it would have been just that's a big fish.
Yeah, in the fall or the spring, that would be a hank.
She makes good babies.
I know exactly where she lives.
Yeah.
At your tree.
Hey, not my fault. My boat was faster for about that 3 seconds till our battery died. What about you, Mark? Like, what's like your best memory? Like, just your personal best there? Like, you got something?
My best.
Like, not even your like just what?
How about
what
a
makes you think?
life-changing?
There you go.
A
Let's hear it.
life-changing fishing story. You want to hear this?
Oh yeah.
It was a bad stormy tournament on Dalrymple. We get to the launch. Everybody had good days, but it was a miserable day. I think some guys won that weren't even invited, but we let them join. And so that's another rule of fishing. Don't let guys that are on the dock join your tournament because they're going to win. It's a good chance. They're locals, right? And so at the end of the day, I pulled my boat out. Everybody pulled their boat out, and there's one boat left in. And this boat has no trim. So can't get it on the trailer, can't get it out of the water because the trim's down, blah, blah, blah. So everybody had left, except for one guy, me. Me.
You.
I stayed in that stormy weather, even though I was very, very hungry. And I helped that guy get out of the water. That guy was Shawn Mccaul. And he's my best friend now.
Wait, time out. That's how you guys met?
That's how we met.
That's
yeah.
how we met.
That's how you met.
No man left behind, buddy.
So what happened to the trim?
It was just a battery issue, and I was telling him, I'm like, no, man, go. It was terrible weather.
Wait, time out a minute. Were you the guy on the dock they let into the tournament?
No,
He's never won one.
I dumped my fish. I was having issues coming back, right?
Yeah.
And Mark was like, no, man, we'll get you all set up. And I was like, and we pulled all the batteries out, threw his batteries in. He was testing everything, and finally we got her to go. And I was like, oh my God.
Man,
I'm
that's a good story.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's how you guys met.
That's how we met.
That's how
We've
we
been
met.
friends ever since.
Figure you just met like a clubby or something.
No, man.
That's kind of romantic for you two.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
a good memory.
I don't feel comfortable sitting in the middle of you two right now.
And that there is a life-changing fishing story.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you? You got any like life-changing thing like that?
Yeah. Actually, I got another funny story. So
That's not a funny story. That's a serious story, Shawn.
You were very serious.
So a few weeks ago, we had Mark Hunter's birthday party, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
So-
wasn't there. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were all hanging out in his backyard, and we were having some drinks. We were having a great time, and I looked down on the ground, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "What is that?" And I picked it up, and it was this. It was this. Well,
Is that a walnut?
No, that's one of Mark Hunter's balls.
That's what he says. He says, I'm gonna drill a hole in it and make it a necklace.
So, because Joan keeps them in her purse, right? So one fell out of her purse, and I found it.
You guys are killing me.
Right?
Our ratings right now.
So, yeah, I told Mark, I said, that belongs to me now.
So sponsor plug, YOLO Tech. For all these memories, fishing memories, anything you want to record, life-changing moments like this, all on your YOLO Tech, guys. Check them out, yolotech.ca. Lots of great dealers carrying it. And, yeah.
Check that out. That's awesome.
Hey, can I get that back?
No, that's mine.
Stop me
Good luck
walking
charm.
in circles.
But, another funny story is when I drilled a hole in it, it broke in half, and it almost broke my heart. I was like,
glue
oh,
that
no.
thing? Let me see that. Did you glue this back together?
Yeah,
Dude, he takes time.
Yeah. Why do you think I was late? I was doing arts
Holy
and crafts.
smoke.
Is that what you were doing?
No.
You didn't lose your keys?
No, I lost my keys. I found them beside my boat.
Yeah, why? We're late because of you.
But
I don't even know what it is. They're
Look at
all
this
over
thing.
my
Look
place.
at
And the
this thing.
squirrels. I know what it looks like.
Oh, man.
So anyway, I drilled a hole in it, and it broke in half.
Yeah.
And when it broke in half, look what was inside it.
A heart.
Hey,
It's a heart.
I'm worried about you two. I'm worried.
tell you, man.
I am worried about where your guys' connection is at.
Yeah,
Oh.
you know what?
we're pretty close.
I don't mean like that. I mean like you guys are like brothers. I can tell.
We're like the Benifer of fishing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Whatever.
we want to be called Shark.
Shawn and Mark, shark. Okay.
Oh, you guys are awful.
Another,
Okay.
another terrible story, actually. We were, a couple of weeks ago, we were up fishing. Danny and I got invited to be a mystery boat up to one of these guys' clubbies.
Yep.
So we surprised them on the Friday night, and we were all sitting around the boats having drinks in the parking lot there, all retying, and I was in the middle of an FG knot. And if you ever tied an FG knot, they're like the knot of knots. They take time.
If you can't tie knots, tie lots.
Right? So I'm tying this FG knot. I'm sitting in my boat, and we're all standing around talking and having a drink and, doing this and that. All of a sudden, I feel this thing go into my butt crack, and I feel a smack. And I was like, oh, and then I feel all these crumbs. Mark stuck a Dorito in my butt crack down my shorts.
And I gave it a good old smack.
Holy smokes.
Right?
What club is this?
Hogtown.
Yeah. Hey, it was there, and he left out the part where he flung his flip flop at me there.
You guys fight like brothers too.
Yeah. As soon as I seen him, I walked up to him. It was like, hey, how you doing? And I flicked my flip flop and hit him in the.
Yeah.
Don't
say it. Don't say it.
Right.
So that was my payback.
Yeah.
A Dorito down the pants.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you, bud?
I've heard that Hogtown Club's a lot of fun.
It is.
I might join that one.
Super duper guys. We would love to have you there, Kyle.
I might join that one next year. I feel bad because even like this year, I haven't even had a chance to get out with the Peterborough Club. I'm just at that point right now. Hats off to my wife. She's working like crazy weekends, right? Good for her. She's working hard, Leanne. So I got the kids and doing stuff. But next year might be a little bit better, and I'll get out for some clubbies.
Yeah, that's a real great club. Great group of guys and professionally run.
Yeah, they're like my brothers. Those guys. They're
I've presented at that club. I believe it. Yeah, I've done Hogtown once or twice with Daiwa, like presentations, I believe. And no, I like going to those clubbies. I like going to the dinners and just shooting the shit.
Well, it's good now that we can meet again, because for so long, like 2 years, we weren't able to meet anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So we did Zoom meetings and stuff.
It's not the same.
And so we've only had a couple since we've been back, because it's summer. We don't meet in the summer, right? We see each other on the weekends at tournaments and stuff. So
you know who did really well this past weekend in their clubby?
Who?
Moose.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I like to call Moose right now. I think it'd be fun to check in on him. It's been a while since we've talked to Moose on the air.
Right.
Since the last wrap-up show from the trade show. I think we should give him a call.
100%.
All right, let's do it.
Get him on the phone.
All right, Moose, you hear us?
I hear you loud and clear. How's it going?
Awesome. All right, we were just talking here. We're having some pretty in-depth conversations with Mark and Shawn, and we were talking about the big weekend winners this past weekend in Ontario, and your name came up.
Oh, boy.
Tell us.
Let's hear this. I can't believe this.
They say is this your first clubby win? Is it?
The first DAA win. Yes, it was.
All right, take us through the day.
Let's hear it.
Well, it was a very busy morning. I was 10 minutes late to blast off. Got on the water, and I figured, hey, you know what? No time like the present. There's no need to run to the other side of the lake. And first cast fish was 4.25, 4.3.
Nice.
So
first cast?
First cast, bro. First cast.
That's usually a jinx, eh? Yeah.
And I happened to look over, and our good friend Dan and his son Dante were like, "Oh, that's a good one." I'm like, "Oh, it is a good one." So anyway, 30 minutes passed, nothing else happened, so I started hitting some of my spots, and dude, they were on fire. The fish were everywhere. I must have caught like 40, 50 fish easily.
Wow.
And,
So let me get this straight, Moose. You won a tournament and you have spots. This is amazing.
Guess what I caught my biggest fish on there, Mark?
I hope it was a dinger, buddy.
It was a dinger, buddy.
See? Congratulations, buddy.
I appreciate that, boys. I appreciate that. It was a good win.
What was your weight?
17 pounds.
Nice.
Decent for Stoney, for sure.
That's wicked. That's awesome, man. Like, how do you do it? Like, you are probably one of the busiest guys in the industry. Like, let's tell me if I missed anything. So you run a huge print company, which does a ton of stuff in the fishing industry. Uh-huh. You run OFC, Ontario Fishing Club. Check that out if you guys are listening. You do a ton of stuff with like CSFL and Andy and the shows and stuff like that. You do a ton of stuff with us. You do a ton of stuff with Shimano. You do a ton, you stay busy, man. Like, how do you do it?
I have a very understanding family, and I have one hell of a personal assistant.
and you can't say no.
Right. I'm a yes man. I have a hard time saying no to people.
No, that's phenomenal.
Moose doesn't sleep, eh?
I know he doesn't. The best part is when like me and Moose do something, I get a call at like 10 o'clock at night, right? Because he's working, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I'm gonna hammer this.
That's when I get most of my work done. I mean, during the day, you got to think like in the morning. I'm up, phone calls, emails.
Yeah.
Now enter the new house, and the girls are now living with me, so the morning routine has changed a little bit. And then by the time 11 o'clock comes around, I'm basically packing my truck. Either I'm doing installs or I'm assembling, print jobs or something like that's happening. And then there's constant people coming by the shop and, new orders and phone calls. So the only time I actually get to sit down and start designing is between 7 and 2 a.m. And as crazy as that sounds, but that is when I'm most productive.
And then
you do awesome stuff.
And then your weekends you're at events, like because you were doing, like well, if you're not fishing, you're probably working or helping, right? But you also weren't you helping like JP filming with Renegade and stuff like that as well? Like
past couple of years I've been helping JP. I ran a camera boat the first year. Second year I did a little bit of filming with him, and then this year I've only gone out twice with him, but this year I'm running a camera for him again. So, and that's a completely different aspect of the business, like to be behind the camera. Like as you guys know, the road trip with Cooper is you want to talk about cinematography, that's one thing you should check out.
Have you seen the new one?
Unreal.
Have you seen the new one?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my god, I watched it last night.
I still get so pumped.
What a great job.
That first one when you guys went to Nipigon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that is like bucket list. I am going next year kind of deal.
Yeah, that trip ruined walleye fishing for me. It ruined pike fishing for me. I mean, it was something I can't even explain it. The smile from ear to ear from the minute you get there to the minute you leave, like, and it's tough to leave a place like that. Very tough. But to be in front of the camera at the same time is one thing, but to be dedicated to sitting behind the camera and watching these guys fish and how focused they are and what they're doing, like I'm learning from these guys while I'm sitting behind a camera, which is super cool. So that's a whole different section of the province that I've never really explored, right? So Renegade being out and all that, gorgeous bodies of water, incredible group of guys, and a ton of knowledge. So, and that's really what I thrive for. It's just the knowledge, right? So it's pretty cool.
No, that's phenomenal. Like you guys do such a good job, and on like Cooper and those guys, and you on that video, like everything you guys bring to the table. I mean, that was wicked. Like, tell us a little bit though about Ontario Fishing Club. You and Jeff are always, working on stuff and doing a lot of cool things, giving back to the community with that. Anything in the works for this year, or what are you guys thinking?
This year's been an odd year coming off of COVID, but basically, for those of you that don't know, the Ontario Fishing Club started as a Facebook page with a group of 28 friends. And those 28 friends invited 28 friends. And those 28 friends invited 28 friends. And next thing you know, went from 200 to 400, 4 to 8, 8 to 6. And it just continuously grew. I didn't even know Jeff. I got invited to a fishing trip out on the French River. Met Jeff and I said, what would be cool, man, is there was somewhere to share these experiences, get some advice, and get some tips. And that's sort of how OFC was created. And at the same time we created OFC, CFN was in the making. And so you had this gem of a human being, Scotty Martin and Red Andel.
Absolute beauty.
Two completely different worlds. And they were just the funniest dudes. And so we were doing the same thing. They were doing the same thing. We thought, what's the point in chasing, people, followers, companies for support when if we just sort of merge our ideas together and work on the same platform, we could probably hit the mass a lot better and be a lot more efficient. And that's exactly what we did. We all had the same ideas. We all had the same goals. We all had the same views. And we hit the ground running, and that's sort of how OFC Nation came about. So it's a portion of CFN, and it's a portion of OFC. From charity tournaments to monthly giveaways to tips and tricks to videos, weekly videos. Scotty's still doing his Monday Night Lives, going like 5-6 years strong.
Yep.
our Q&As have been put on the back burner just because, I'm not going to say we've taught or spoken about everything, but we're taking certain things in certain directions. So Jeff focuses on a lot of the charity tournament stuff. We did run one hell of a successful OFC Nation or OFC Cup, and it was the first and only because the following year things kind of got a little hectic. There was no dates available. The third year, there was no venue available because, again, everything was booked. Everybody was super busy. And then enter COVID, right? We're going 5-6 years into this now. So enter COVID 2 years later. It just we just didn't think at the time that the charity tournament would be able to happen this year.
Yep.
So, the monthly giveaways are still there. Actually, funny enough, Lee from Shimano was over today, and we were talking about some stuff. So, the Christmas giveaways are there. We have the OFC Nation retreat, which is just a gathering we do.
That's in a few weeks, is it not? Or it's a couple weeks now?
It is. Yeah, it's in September, and anywhere from 30 to 60 people, depending on the lodge that we choose. And we all get together and fish and bonfires and food and good times. Like it's a blast.
That sounds awesome, man. No, I think it's wicked what you guys are doing, and Scotty as well, and Red and everybody. Like, it's just a great group of human beings.
It's brought a ton of people together.
Well,
yes, it has.
And I think a lot of people. We were talking about Moose before we had you on the air. We were talking about we were all fishing out of 10 boats last weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people in that group that are like new to the sport, fishing out of boats, shore fishing, kayaks, all that kind of stuff. So it's a great place to dive in there, get advice. You actually see some pretty awesome fish pictures of some pretty wicked catches. Like it's a cool community to hang out in. So I recommend everybody check it out if you haven't.
Yeah.
Geez, but I think OFC is even responsible for a marriage, are they not?
We're responsible for a couple marriages.
Really? Did you officiate them?
Funny enough, I have officiated 2 weddings in my life.
You know what? If I ever get married again, you can officiate it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, honey. I love you, Leanne. Yeah.
Leanne's the best.
I know. You can just marry us anyways.
I want you to sing for me when I'm walking down the aisle.
Yeah. What's that, Moose?
I was gonna say, bring me up to date on what's happening. Like, I know it's around the corner. Time is flying by.
I know it's flying by a little too quick, but no, we're here doing this podcast. We're having some fun, and we got some big announcements coming up the next couple months for the trade show on April 2nd. And we've been a little quieter than we want to be for a couple of strategic reasons, and just because of the amount of people trying to get in and stuff. We got to make some strategic decisions, but
for sure,
we're pretty excited for what's going to hit Peterborough next year. It's definitely going to be a different level.
Yeah,
and
I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped, and everybody I've spoken to is super pumped about the shows coming back to life.
100%. It's wicked.
Your show.
Everyone's show. We got Sportsman shows back, Andy and Spring Fishing Boat Show are back, which is awesome. Like, no one understands more what these guys went through than me, not being able to go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Nobody. And it's going to be a fun year to be an angler, for sure.
I can't wait. I was having a conversation with Jeff and Scotty yesterday. We were talking about the retreat and everything, and I said, have you guys noticed that even like the same faces and the same groups of people are always, posting online. And a lot of the times the way we get our new faces, our new followers is through these trade shows. I mean, you get here and there, you get a couple hundred here, a couple hundred there per event, whether it's a fishing tournament or guys you meet at the gas station or guys you meet at the lake or the beach or wherever. You get people that will follow. But the trade shows are a key component to building a community.
And I couldn't agree with that more. And I see a couple of guys say, hey, we're not going back to trade shows and this and that. I think you're missing the beat because, and I'm not going to talk about any show in particular. You know what? The only one I'm going to talk about is ours because that's the only one I have any right to speak about. But we kind of go for different
those shows.
Yeah, like we go for a different angle. We're selling the social side of fishing. I'm going to talk kind of like just about our show, CANCAST here. And like we're just really trying to like get the community together. And that was our biggest thing, being able to run finally after COVID last year, is we need to do this for the fishing community. And we're trying to sell, it's a buying show for sure and stuff like that. But we're just trying to be like the social side of fishing. You know what I mean? We're kind of taking a different angle at it. It's just a place to be, a place to hang out. And it's so kind of low key and comfortable there, you can talk to anybody in that room.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going for. But I know I really think you hit the nail on the head that these shows are a huge part of our industry for sure.
They're massive. They're massive. That's where you get to meet the people, talk to the people, understand what they want, what they're doing, how they're doing it, all of these things, right? And I think the past few years that we've missed that really didn't. I wouldn't say it hurt us because let's face it, the industry grew. There's more fishermen in the province now.
Yep.
Male and female, young and old, more than ever, right? So
For sure.
it was a bonus. But now it's time to take those people that are entering, the outdoor world and say, hey, listen, you need more information, you need more knowledge, you need more know-how. We want to meet you. You need to come to these shows, and that's sort of what I'm excited about is meeting all the new faces.
100%. No, you hit the nail on the head, buddy. And it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun year for everybody. We hope all promoters have a super successful season. It's lots of cool things happening. Like we're pumped. I'm pumped to see the band. Like there's so many people like I haven't seen in months that we'll see at these shows, right? So, well, but
absolutely,
I appreciate you coming on, Moose. Congrats again on your Derby win, and we'll be talking to you soon. So
thank you guys. I appreciate it. Good to hear from y'all, and we'll see you guys soon.
Cheers, buddy.
All right, man. See you, pal.
Cheers, bud. All right.
I love that guy.
I do too. He's a beauty.
I really do.
He is a beauty.
He is a good human.
All around. Doesn't matter what time of day. He's like Shawn. If I needed something, I
100%.
know I could call Moose and he would be there in a heartbeat.
No, he's a huge part of this.
Yeah.
He's helped us out huge. He redid that amazing logo for us.
Yeah,
that is a killer.
Boom!
Logo,
I get so many compliments on that. I'm like, call Moose.
Logo.
Isn't it wicked?
Yeah,
it's phenomenal. I love that guy. Yeah, Moose is just like you can call him any time of day, and he helps you out.
That guy, if you needed to hide a body, and you called Moose,
well,
he would show up.
Don't put him in that situation right now.
He would. Yeah, you just.
He doesn't. He is a good.
He would show up with a shovel and tell you to stay home. That's how good of a guy he is.
He is a beauty.
Right.
We love him. All right. So we talked about a couple things earlier, and it kind of got my mind fishing. And one of it was best fishing memories. But who got you into the sport that you'll always remember for doing it?
For me, I've been fishing since I was a little kid. My grandfather had a cottage.
I think you'd be better at it by now.
Yeah. Okay, 7 pounds. So anyway, my grandfather, we lived on Sturgeon Lake. We ended up buying the house right next to them, and we lived on the bayou on Sturgeon Lake, not far from Sturgeon Point. And that was it for us, like we were right on the water. And I remember when I was a little kid, Bob Azumi was coming to Bob Cajun. He was going to the Buckeye Marine, and he was going to be signing autographs. And like I asked for a watch for my birthday, so when I went out fishing, I knew what time it was that Real Fishing was on, so I could go home and watch Bob Azumi.
What a
and then
legend!
Go back out fishing.
What a legend!
Yeah, Bob,
now you're buddies with him.
Yeah, Bob's a beauty, right?
He is.
So, but I never got to go meet him because I wasn't a good kid. I wasn't.
They took that opportunity away from you.
I was a wild dog, yeah, and I got grounded, and my grandfather wanted to take me, and even fought with my mom and my stepdad over it, and he was like, "I'm taking him." They were like, "No, you're not." And I'll never ever. I don't know what I got in trouble for. I didn't learn no lesson. Tell you that right now.
Okay.
Did you cry?
I don't remember.
Did you cry?
Oh, I cried. I was.
Show us how you cried.
I was. Oh yeah, I had the old.
Lip quiver.
I remember crying, but I don't remember what I did to get in trouble, and I didn't learn no lesson. Right? My grandfather really was the one that got me into fishing, and
that's cool.
Yeah, then I got away from it for a while, then growing up, and then I got into drugs. I got into drugs pretty hard, and realized that I didn't have anything, and I was going nowhere in life, and I fell back in love with fishing and gave all that up because I wanted to get up on Saturday morning and go fishing.
So did you think fishing saved you in a way?
100%. No, without a doubt, dude.
So I'm a big believer if you have a passion or a hobby that occupies you, it keeps you out of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So like in high school, my thing was motocross. I raced dirt bikes. So all week long, I worked on a farm. I worked at a bike shop after school. My friends they're on the football team. You're not going to try out for football? I can't. I got to work after school. I can't do practice. Well, what do you mean? Well, if I don't work, I don't get bike parts. I don't race. But every weekend, I went racing. My friends went partying. I went racing.
Right.
I was Ottawa, here, all over the place till I was racing somewhere. But it kept me out of a lot of trouble. Hey, I was a teenager. I had my fun and my moments and got into trouble. We all do, but
Right. I remember you dating my sister.
yeah, we don't talk about that on the air. We don't talk about how you and me met.
Right.
But you get my point.
It
like,
wasn't at a boat launch.
we can't talk about that. Anyways, but I think if you have something like, well, one thing about you two guys, and I've followed in your path on this, is kids. I've seen you guys help out so many kids. I give away so much stuff. Like I got neighbor kids that come over, and I got a hilarious story. But I love helping these kids because it gets them hooked, and it's basically the future of our sport. It's gonna keep guys like us doing what we do in business, keep our dealers going, whatever. And I love seeing the passion in these young kids. And I'm a big believer if we can hook them when they're like 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, we're going to keep some of these kids out of trouble.
Oh, 100%. I keep a whole, like a Rubbermaid bin in my boat under the deck, and it's just full of brand new spinnerbaits, all in the package.
Yeah.
And frogs, I bet, too.
And every time I see kids fishing, I pull them out and I go and I hand every single kid on a dock or down at the public docks. Like we went on Seymour and I went down there and there was 3 kids down there fishing. I went into my boat, grabbed them, went down. I was like, right on, kids, keep fishing.
Yeah.
Get them something they're going to throw, right, and retrieve. And those fish are going to hammer.
Yeah.
And when a fish hammers a moving bait, you're hooked.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, so I have these neighbor kids, Nolan and Drayden, and they're a couple beauties. And so I think Drayden would be 15 and Nolan might be 11 or 12. So don't quote me around the ages. And well, you met Drayden the other night. We went to his house there to grab that door.
Yep.
Lots of stuff. Anyways, so Nolan is obsessed with fishing. So is Drayden, but Nolan is obsessed. This young 12-year-old, 11 when I met him. And so he always comes over. Hey, going pike fishing. Yep, come over, get you some stuff, whatever. And anyway, so he comes over and he wanted some lures the other day. And I have just totes and totes and totes of stuff. Like when I go to the fishing show, like I load up. Like CanCast for me, this year was we were so busy this year I didn't get a chance. But when we were in Bowmanville,
I know you hurt me on that deal too, right?
I know. Yeah, we actually got
Gave us jobs.
So
what's going
does this
on?
work?
So
I'm just watching people with all this bags
What
and
do you mean,
stuff,
no
and I'm
deals?
like standing by the door.
No,
So anyways, he comes over and he's like, I'm going pike fishing up on Ballston, my buddy's cottage. You got anything? I don't have any pike baits. Yeah, for sure. So we come over, throwing a bunch of stuff. And this kid is the funniest thing. It was like a young adult pulls out the thickest wallet you've ever seen. You know, like the old school, like
the
whatever.
George Costanza.
And he just pulls out. He goes, "All right, buddy, how much do I owe you?" And he looks up at me, and I'm like, "You don't owe me anything, buddy." He's like, "No, let me pay you." And this is like 11-year-old, 12-year-old talking to.
Really?
And I'm like, "Your parents raised you well, but don't worry about it." But I gave him a whole bunch of stuff. There was one lure I wanted back because it was, but then I'm like, I'm not even worried about it. But I'm like, you keep all that, bring that one back. Got some sentimental value. Anyways, and
you sent it pike fishing?
so it's a big. It's a handmade pike lure. That
And you sent it
to the kid.
yeah, he still got it. He'll give it back. Don't worry.
Did you tell him tie on a wire leader?
So, anyways, yeah, he's all set with that. So, it was just the most hilarious thing. But anyways, those same kids. So they call me, "Hey, I need a new fishing rod. You help me out for sure." I got a bunch in the garage, and they're like, "Okay, well, like, what can we do for it?" I'm like, "We'll figure it out." And then they're like, "We'll come stack all your firewood." They came over today. They started stacking my firewood. They each want to work off a rod.
Perfect.
How wicked's that?
Child labor's great.
That's the way, man.
Not child-
When I was 8 years
Well.
old, I was raking lawns and
Yeah.
cutting lawns and
Yeah.
shoveling
I had a
driveways.
paper route.
Yeah.
I always
And that's
had
how
a
I
job.
got all my fishing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I just think, kind of getting on to back what you were saying, I think occupying yourself. Like, is there a saying, like, idle hands? I don't know what the saying
Idle
is.
minds or idle hands or
Like,
whatever that-
You got to stay busy.
Yeah.
It's the secret to life.
I
right?
wasn't today. I laid on the couch all day.
And you got to have a day like that. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
if you know you have something on the weekend, it keeps you out of.
My wife was busy, though. She went to Orangeville to pick up a car with a friend, and then she went and got her hair did.
Hair done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while she was at the woman's salon getting her hair done, guess who walks through the door?
Wasn't me.
It was Mr. Kyle Carruthers.
Wasn't me.
I noticed you were looking a little fresh today.
I got a good haircut.
Did you go to the salon today?
Not the saloon,
Look,
the salon.
She takes like, look, right now we're trying to have a conversation here. Danny McGarry is texting. Look at Danny's texting me right now. He knows we're doing the podcast. He's interrupting me and he's telling me to say mean things about you.
Yeah, but okay. Well,
Okay, we should fire him.
We're about to beat him to this because you went to the salon. You went to the hairdresser.
Did they put like tissue between your toes?
Just
and
remember,
stuff?
I'm the owner of this show, and anything I tell Woody to edit out will be edited.
Yeah, but the salon.
It's not a salon. She's a barber.
She is not a barber.
Yes, she
owns
is.
what's
I've
the
only
place?
went one time.
Okay, what's the place called?
Don't worry about it. Anyway,
Dude, is that a cucumber seed in the middle of your eye there?
no, that's not how I roll.
You know where I go?
I've had the same hair. Look, buddy, I've had the same haircut since I dated your sister. So you leave it be.
Yesterday I went looking for a haircut, and all the barber shops were closed, and down the street was a salon.
So you went to the
what
salon.
I did? I drove right by it. Right?
Oh, that is good.
Right? And I just put on my brand new hat tonight,
Yes, you did.
and that was it.
Only fish.
Only
You got
fish.
something on top of it. You should wipe that off.
It's what?
I don't know. I know it's still. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah, no, Only Fish. Yeah, it's a website that I've started for guys that don't have time for women. And Cooper Gallant's actually my biggest supporter.
You know what the number one rule
about
is about
that.
salons? It's like fishing. You don't give out the information.
First of all, you don't talk about going to salons.
Yeah.
I've never
You
went
were
to a
caught.
salon.
You were
I
caught.
got a quick haircut fit in. Holy smokes. Okay,
No,
Mark.
no.
Mark,
you got
who-
your hair did.
Mark,
Yeah.
who got you into fishing?
Who got me into fishing?
Who got
Well,
you
know
into
what? I was
fishing?
lucky enough. When I was a kid, we had a trailer up on Shamong Lake. You know, when I was like grade 2, grade 3, whatever, growing up in public school. So I started fishing there with my dad. Yeah.
Grade 2,
And
grade
then
3, so
some
you were like
buddies there
14.
What? And then, just like, same as Shawn, I left it, I stopped fishing in my teens and I kind of discovered girls and didn't have time for the pond. And then when I was like, had kids and stuff, I got back into fishing. Met a guy named Jay Hotsack. He introduced me to the bass clubs and stuff, and then haven't turned back.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, like fishing for me, we had a cottage on the Ketchikan chain of lakes growing up. And we had a tin boat that my grandfather gave me and my brothers, or my dad bought it off him or something. We still have that boat today.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
So I
Where
fished
is it?
It's at my dad's farm.
That could be the
It's gonna
boat.
come to the camp. Well, that will be the boat unless we get a boat given with us. The plan's this is the boat. Here's the best part. That boat is immaculate. We call it the Whiskey Throttle. Has an old 9.9 on it, Johnson, and she just sticks tight. You don't even have to hold it.
You had me at whiskey.
So this boat went through us brothers as kids. My older brother bought a small bass tracker when he was done college, and then and like we're just fishing at the cottage. We don't have any idea what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we're just fun fishing. So then it went to me, and I bought a trailer for it, and I bought a new Mercury 15 for it, which I've since sold. I bought a new Crestliner. So my other brother took this boat, and then my other brother took this boat. Well, my youngest brother, who's had it last, he's a trucker for a living. Drives trucks. But they really take care of these trucks. They like chrome. They polish stuff. They polish their wheels, their bumpers. Well, long story short, after about a week of labor, I go in the farm and I see this boat, and it is a mirror.
Oh, no.
He has polished it. It is like literally you see your reflection. It is polished. Like
Dude,
the
you could
speed
string
polisher?
hot dogs across it and cook them.
So, anyways, he was it actually looks pretty awesome. But he's since bought a boat, so the boat's sitting there, and my kids, if they fish out of it, which is the plan, that's like 4 generations that fished out of this boat.
Wow.
Well, that's cool.
So my grandpa, my dad, all of us, and then our kids. So this will be the boat. I hope it's the boat. One word. That's why we gotta do 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
that
do
works.
2, right? We're gonna work with the sponsors. We're gonna do 2. So, anyways, that's kind of how we got into fishing. Then me and my college roommate, he had a cottage on Stony. Wes Jennett, great guy, works for Scott Sports now, runs the bike division, and we'd go up there and we'd fish and we'd walleye, and that kind of got me hooked on it. But I never really seriously got into it till I started working for Greywood, believe it or not.
Really?
And I would have to give a lot of credit to. I'm not sucking up to him. I'm going to say this. He's going to listen to this. I'm not sucking up to him. He's going to think I am, but I'm not. to Greg McIntyre.
You're so sucking up to him.
No, I'm serious. Like, he really, like, when we was like, hey, you're going to come work for us, and then we repped Iowa, whatever. And I knew, like, I need to learn everything I can about fishing. And I'm more of like a technical guy, like from the race days, like specs and products and this. I remember it all. I'm good that way. And I'm like, I'm going to learn everything I can about every one of those products and how many bearings are in it and what's the, I'm going to learn it all. And I did. And so he was a big part of it. Dave Bairstow was a huge part of it too.
Another beauty.
Yeah. Like, I always would pick Greg's brain and go to the office. We talk fishing all the time. You know, he'd help me out with different baits and whatever, like rig me up and all this stuff. So Dave Bairstow, I learned a ton from that guy. We fished a few tournaments. We spent a lot of time learning the smallmouth fish on rice.
He's pretty technical.
I watched
angler.
him like punch slop. Dave learned a ton. All the pro staff guys, you guys going to the shows, I just talk and pick brains. I'm like that annoying little kid.
What'd you learn from Mark?
Actually, I think I taught Mark how to use a bait caster.
Just keep smiling.
So anyways, there's been a bunch of guys. Brian Gardy, another guy I've spent a lot of time with the last couple of years learning smallmouth is Tim Fernandez.
He is a hammer.
I have learned so much from him in 2 years. It's like stuff that I'm like, what? It's like going out fishing with Dave. You're like, you're throwing what? That is like against everything I've ever been told. Yep. Don't worry about it. It works.
Yeah.
And it works.
Yep.
And Tim's got some like certain things like that too. And so I have a lot of people, but those are kind of some of them that really got me into it that you'll always be, remember. And I'm gonna beat them all in a tournament in about 5 years.
You're gonna cut them off? You can see where they're going and just go for the best looking tree.
Well, the guy that got me into tournament fishing would be Joe Ford.
Yeah.
Well, me and Joe, we go way back, right? Back to high school days. Like the first day I met Joe, he was getting stuffed in a locker, and I was like, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
Right? And since then, me and Joe have been buddies, right?
You're like his guardian angel?
Yeah.
Wait. You were getting stuffed in a locker?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Who's going to stuff me in a locker?
You were probably pretty scrawny back then.
No.
Joe was getting stuffed in a locker. And
bones?
Yeah, Joe was like, Joe was actually, he was like 3 feet tall in grade 9.
What?
And then in like grade 11, he was like 6'2".
Hold it up.
It was crazy. Ding dong.
You just can't let it go.
No, it's my good luck charm.
Yeah, it is.
But no, Joey got me into tournament fishing, and actually with Joe, I got a super cool opportunity a couple of times to fish on Team Canada, and I got to go down to Florida the first time. Bob Zumi was our captain, and that's where I met the Haggertys.
Yeah,
and Brian Hughes and the Nice and Cole Bailey and Bruce.
So that tournament. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So that was the Pan American Games.
Yes.
Right, and then we also fished the World Championships in Mexico.
How was that?
Yeah, it was. Well, everywhere we went, we had armed guard with us because we're in cartel territory. It's not like you're going to Mexico. You're going down to like Tulum or Cancun. No, we're going into like the heart of Mexico where you see bodies hanging off bridges and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
So you guys all decided to go out into the town at night instead of staying in your rooms.
Yeah.
You guys are bad people.
Yeah, we did once. Yeah, we did once.
Yeah.
We went into this town called Chena. We had a blow day for day one. We had bad weather. And they threw us all on the bus, threw the guards with machine guns in front of us, guards with machine guns behind us, and took us on this tour.
So these guys are like with like turrets on the top of the truck.
There was a mounted 50 cal in the back of each truck.
Oh man!
And then there was 2 guys on each side of that with machine guns. A guy in the front passenger side with the machine gun, and then the driver. And like these guys are all in full tactical gear, blacked right out. You can't even see their faces.
Well, the problem is, so we do a lot of LE stuff at Greywood. LE stands for law enforcement, military, whatever.
Right.
Down in Mexico, if you're like part of the police force or whatever, you can't show your face because when the cartel figures out who you are,
that's right.
You're done.
Kill
so they're always wearing black masks.
Yeah, they'll even kill your neighbor's dog.
They'll kill everything.
Right. Yeah. So we go into this town called Chena, and the guy's like, "Okay, I got a story about this place." So 3 years ago, the one of the cartels, the cartel that was existing here, the police had his son in protective custody because another cartel moved in and was trying to take over the territory.
Wow.
Well, that cartel that was trying to take over got a hold of his son and killed his son. So the cartel
and
the
everybody
cartel
else
father,
in the police station.
No, the cartel father then came into Chena with all of his men and killed everybody in the town, and then went into the police station and killed all the police. And as we roll into this town, you can see bullet holes everywhere. Like, it's just because it's all like cement buildings and stuff. Concrete.
And why did they decide to hold the event here?
Well, it was really good fishing. Yeah, so I looked at the
That's
guy
what I thought.
and I'm like, is it safe for us to be here? He's like, oh yeah. He said it was okay that you guys were here. We're like, what? He's like, oh yeah, he's granted permission for all you guys to come here for this event, right? Said like he wouldn't
No
bother
one
us.
touches you.
Yeah, we had permission, right? And we go into this town, and then it's like full tactical vehicles now, military on every other corner. There's like a strong military presence there, strong police presence. It's wild. It's a different life.
That's something
Oh, yeah.
else.
Yeah, but speaking of the Pan American,
So we do, yeah. I'll jump in here, but there's a qualifier for that event for the 2023 Pan American Championships down in Lake. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Lake Ochida. Right there, Lake Ochida.
Ouachita.
Ouachita, Arkansas, I believe that is.
Yeah.
Anyways, you get the point. So I think Joe Ford and Dave Chong are organizing this qualifier.
Right.
It's so this is a really cool opportunity, and like you were saying, Shawn, you've done this tournament twice now.
Yeah, twice.
Dave Barristow's at Matt Hubble, Haggerty's.
Yeah.
So
Cole
how many
Bailey.
people are on the team?
I think they go down with 5 teams or 6 teams. Like they might go with an alternate. I'm not 100% sure on what they're doing.
So I don't have that info here. We'll probably get Dave or Joe on to talk about this, but the qualifier is September 20th to 21st, and it's on the Bay of Quinte, the Bay only out of Trenton.
Why don't we give Joe a call?
All right, we got Joe Ford on the phone. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just plugging away.
Yeah, you've been busy. You've been a busy boy this summer, I see.
Oh, man, it's been nonstop between the guiding the trophy smallmouth on Lake Ontario, the Bassmaster Opens, and being a father and spending lots of family time. It's been a busy summer.
No doubt, man. Well, you know what? We actually wanted to get you on here tonight to talk about the Pan Am qualifier. And we just wondered if you could kind of walk us through that event, kind of how it works, and just kind of give us some details on it.
Well, it's an exciting time to be a bass fishing team in Canada because we're coming off of 2 very successful Pan American Championships where we've taken the title in Cornwall on our home soil, and then we traveled to Mexico and we won gold and individual bronze. So we're doing pretty good internationally, and the organization, the Canadian International Sport Fishing Association, is growing. We oversee Canada Kayak, Canada Bass, and a few other disciplines, but we are having a qualifier on September 20th, 21st on the Bay of Quinte. So the city of Trenton's behind it. We're going to be at the park. It's not going to be a super huge spectacle. It's going to be teams, a table, a scale, and a chance to make Canada. And basically, if you're a tournament angler or competitive angler and you want a shot to fish for Canada and travel, this is the platform to do it. Internationally, I will let you guys know we're not fishing for any money. Like Shawn's been a part of this event with me. Shawn got to fish in the Worlds with me, and we had a great time. I think we finished 5th, and we were on the first Canadian team to travel to Okeechobee for the Pan American Championships. The first time Canada win. Azumi put a team together, and it was just a phenomenal experience. So we're growing, and we've got a pretty solid foundation built now, and we're looking for teams. Matter of fact, this has been shared all the way out to British Columbia and as far east as New Brunswick right now. So we're getting it out there. We're trying to involve as many provinces as we can. It's open to everybody. The top finishing team, the top 8 finishing teams will be the competing teams at the Pan American, and we will have a couple of alternate spots.
So what you're saying is that me and Mark Hunter have a chance.
Yes.
We're gonna throw it.
Probably a good chance.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
believe so.
So you guys chose Bay of Quinte for this qualifier. Is because it's fishing similar to the lake? Is it fish? Obviously, it's a largey lake where you guys are going.
It is. We looked at several fisheries. We looked at Rice Lake and areas in the Carruthers. We looked at the Bay of Quinte. We looked at smallmouth fishing. We didn't really feel, the trophy smallmouth would have given us the best all around team to represent one of the southern reservoirs. It's going to be on Lake Wichita in Arkansas, and Wichita it's an impoundment in the mountains in Arkansas, but it's a grass-filled impoundment with a lot of standing timber, milfoil, hydrilla, coontail, a lot of vegetation. So we figured, you know what, the Bay of Quinte is pretty central. Like if you're coming from the east, we're splitting the difference as best we can.
Yep.
And we're not, you know what, we want the Kingston bass fishermen to come, and we want the Ottawa region guys to come, and we want this to be, an event that's open to everybody.
No, that's awesome. And like, so what I take away from this, from outside looking in and talking to Shawn about it over the years and yourself, is really the experience you're going for. It's kind of like something unmatched that is just to be a part of something.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. It's a life-changing experience. 100%.
That's wicked.
And how many countries are compete in the actual Pan Am Games down on Wichita, or where was it?
Wichita.
Was it Wichita?
Probably it'll just be the Pan American countries, so South American countries, Mexico, drawing a blank. Who else was
United States, I hope. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, United States, Canada, First Nations, and several Caribbean countries that fall in the Pan American spectrum. Team Mexico always has a strong presence.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to remember the other two that we're at, but I'm drawing a blank.
So,
and then moving on from the Pan Americans for the 8 that qualify, how we've broken it down now is the top 3 finishing Canadian teams at the Pan American are the ones that will represent Canada at the World Championships the next year.
And where's the Worlds the next year?
We don't know yet. So rewind, COVID threw a little bit of a loop into the scheduling for everything. So we had a successful Pan American Championship that we hosted in Cornwall, Ontario, and Team USA, First Nations, and Team Mexico came and competed in October a few years ago. So the top 3 finishing Canadian teams, I believe it was Bob and Darren Azumi, Jason Gramada, Nicola Gendron, and Phil and Stephen Haggerty, are the teams that are going to represent Canada at the World Championships hosted by USA Bass on Lake Murray, South Carolina in October. So we're working hard to get that team ready. And the team that fished in Mexico, the Pan American team that fished in Mexico, and they didn't give us a lot of notice for that. The Mexicans hosted that one, and they kind of threw it at us. I think we had 2 months to put a team together. So we took a team from the competitors in Cornwall, and we went to Mexico, and we got the job done in Mexico. So that the top 3 finishing teams in Mexico are the ones that are going to go to the World Championships next year, I believe, in Portugal.
Wow,
that's cool.
Yeah, and it is. Shawn nailed it. It's an experience of a lifetime, and the best way I could relate it to anybody listening that's competitive fishing has always been heavily centered around money, right? We're competing for a paycheck. The fundamentals of what these organizations are trying to accomplish is, basically they're trying to make fishing an Olympic sport again. That's their long-term goal. That's their mandate.
I think it will happen.
Sport of fishing. I believe it will one day. I truly do. After seeing what I saw in Mexico, I think there was Olympic the delegates from the Olympic Committee were in Mexico watching the World Championship. So pretty special what's happening. And I mean, fishing is the largest participation activity in the world, and be it Shawn can attest to this. Like we hung out with teams from Zimbabwe, and there's countries attached to Africa I had no idea even existed. I didn't even know they were a country.
That's
and
awesome.
They had bass fishing teams, largemouth bass fishing teams.
That's a cool experience for sure.
It really is, and it's an opportunity to fish for national pride. It's kind of like, an athlete going to the Olympics or the World Championships for pole vaulting or, whatever discipline. They're not necessarily going there to win $100,000. They're going to represent their country.
That's right. Yeah, they're going for the hardware.
Right?
Yeah,
that's right.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
right.
That's
So
wicked.
it is special times, and we are working pretty hard, and it's we've got a small organization, and everybody's got careers and full-time jobs and tournament schedules, and it's busy, but we're doing the best we can, and we're piecing it together. And I sincerely hope we see some of some of Canada's best come out to this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. Top 8 teams get to go, and there's going to be a couple alternate spots, and we just want to field the best team possible because we know what's at stake, and we know, like, you're talking about Team USA, you're talking about the Scott Canterburys and Scott Martins and Freddie Rombanis's and like Jacob Wheeler. I mean, these guys this is who you're going to get to go compete against if you make Canada. So it's.
And these are all guys we were hanging out with down in Mexico, going for dinner, having casting competitions after hours.
Well,
we had a great time.
I'm looking at Shawn right now, and you look like Shawn across Taylor. You're getting the itch here.
Yeah, I'm totally.
That's not from fishing.
No, do you see that too, Mark? You look at this. He's vibrating right now, thinking about. Are you gonna be there on the 21st on the Bay of Quinte, Shawn?
I'm negotiating that in my head right now.
Look at that.
I would love to see.
He's doing
you
it.
Guys come out.
Are we gonna have a CanCast sticker down on Lake Ocho? Oh, how do you say it?
Wichita.
Wichita.
Yeah,
Wichita.
I'm probably.
It's spelled Ochita. It's spelled with an O.
Oh, you should have heard these guys trying to pronounce it before they got you on.
Wichita.
Wichita.
Yeah, it's Wichita.
I thought it was
Sean will be there.
I thought it was Ochita. And Dave Chong corrected me. He's like, man, it's Wichita.
Shawn will be there.
So Joey, tell the people listening how to get a hold of you and how to find out more information on this whole Pan American qualifier.
Shoot me a message. My number's on the the official Facebook post. My number and Dave Chong's number. You guys can reach anybody that's interested in whether it's sponsoring the event or competing in the event or just being a part of the organization. We're growing, so nobody's going to get turned away that wants to help out. But they can shoot me a message direct on Instagram or Facebook. Ford Fishing or Joey Ford or whatever, however you find me. My number is on the poster, like on the official post. So
we'll post that up.
Right, and if anybody's having a hard time getting a hold of them, just get a hold of us here at the show, and we'll definitely put you in the right direction.
Yep.
Those boys can find me.
Awesome.
We went live yesterday with it. I think I responded to like 15 emails already with people ready to register. And these are, some top level tournament guys.
What's the cutoff to register, Joe?
We don't have a cutoff. We haven't talked about a cutoff. We have a registration form that's going to be available this weekend. It'll be up for grabs. So if you guys contact me, I can pencil you in and we'll send you out the registration form and payment details for the registration fee. The registration fee, the money, we kind of are using this as a fundraiser for the organization and to help the teams, buy jerseys and hats and help towards subsidizing our registration fees. So, and if you make the team, everybody that competes in the qualifier will gain their membership in the CISA. So they'll get their membership paid for the year. They'll have access to anything we offer, and they're ready to rock if they make the team.
Awesome. Well, Joe, I really appreciate you coming on and telling us about it. And, we wish you guys huge luck and success with this event. For sure.
Yeah. And hey, I just want to let you guys know you're killing it. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, buddy.
I've been following along, and the three of you, I'm proud to call you guys my bros. Like, we break bread, we're friends, we're family, and you guys are killing it. Keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome, and love you all.
Love you, pal.
I got a question for you, Joe, before I let you go. Do you get your hair cut at a salon or a barber shop?
Walmart.
There you go. See, what's that? That's a salon. Come on.
Walmart, bro.
There you go. All right, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
Best $25 you'll ever spend.
There you go.
I wear a hat 99% of the time.
There you go.
That's because you get your hair cut at Walmart.
If I were to go and spend $75 on a cut and a shave, I wouldn't be doing my hat any justice.
There you go, buddy. Thanks, man. We appreciate it, Joe.
Right,
we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you guys soon.
I think I'm really thinking about
You are, dude. Look at your Woody. Zoom in the camera here. He's vibrating.
It brought back
Okay.
so many memories. Like, you don't understand what these trips are unbelievable, man.
Shawn, you're literally fumbling Mark's nut in your hand. I can literally tell you won't stop
It's
squeezing
my
it.
lucky charm.
You are so
Gentle,
excited,
buddy.
right?
It's my
Gentle.
lucky charm.
You are so excited right now to do this.
Well, if I can make it work, because the following Friday I leave with Danny. We're off to Pickwick to practice for the Nationals. Right, he's got the Nationals coming up in November, so we're going down there before the cutoff date. So we're going to fish together. I'm going to stay the week down there with him. Hopefully, Mark can join us.
I haven't talked to Joan yet, so we'll see. Maybe this is.
You don't need to talk to Joan because Shawn has.
I got one half of the permission right here,
yeah,
bud.
you do.
But yeah, no.
Hope
So
Joan sees it the same way.
yeah, and we got a pretty packed schedule. So but me and Danny fish really well together on Quinny, and I'm gonna talk to him about it in the morning.
There you go. I love it. Okay, so before we wrap this up, if you're not bass fishing, what are you fishing for? What's the next best thing? Because one thing I like to say about our show, it is truly a multi-species show. We went trout fishing, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we did, and it was fun.
And we have some unbelievable musky guys lined up to come on here this fall.
We do.
But if you're not fishing bass, smallies or largies, what are you targeting? What's your next favorite?
Well, I think I have seasons, right? Like once bass is open.
If everything was open all year round, you can go pick anything. What are you going for?
Other than bass,
Other than bass.
crappies.
Really?
I think so.
A lot of people like fishing crappies. It's fun. It's kind of like the kickoff to
Probably.
the season, right? Good fish fry.
Yeah, I'd say crappies.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm more at the other end of the spectrum. I like to fish for I like to pike fish.
Yeah.
You do like the pike fish.
I love pike fishing, man.
I like
I
pike
love it in the
fishing, too.
spring. I love it.
Yeah.
But as soon as other stuff's open,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I like hammered and lake trout.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like 50 feet, live scope, dropping down on them. I love it. I don't know. Probably because I just do it at the tin boat.
It was super cool doing it on Friday.
Yeah, it was.
I got to admit, it was super.
And when you go to that lake in the fall, they're just stacked up. You know that shoreline where I cut you guys off?
Oh yeah,
I'll never
forget
They
it.
are just stacked.
We dropped a waypoint there.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So when you go over it, it's just. That's the good thing about your active captain on your Garmin, on your phone. You can drop a waypoint.
That's it.
We
That's-
triangulated.
I think I'd be a trout guy.
Yeah, no, trout's fun too. I really did enjoy that.
I think the spring when the ice is first out and they're all shallow. Oh,
There's something about reeling in a fish from 50, 60 feet of water that's
it's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool for sure.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's like anything, like jumbo perch fishing on Simcoe. I like a good ultralight setup. Those fish feel like you're fighting
Oh, yeah.
12-pound
Yeah, yeah.
bass.
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
freaking wicked, right? So it's all about the tackle.
Yeah.
You fish them.
I like ice fishing Lakers. I
Yeah, me
I
too.
love watching them come up.
So where we went is unbelievable ice fishing.
We got
Really?
it. Oh yeah, but how are we gonna get in there in the winter?
Sleds and quads, we got it covered.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy.
We got
know,
that part.
We know a guy.
That's easy.
Yeah, we do.
We know a guy. I bet you we even know a guy up there of accommodations that could let us stay there.
Oh yeah.
He just needs a wood stove.
Hey, I know a guy that found you a wood stove.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I think it for me. So we got pike, trout, and crappie. That's good. We're all
I'm
about
in.
the same.
I'm in.
You're in.
That is fun.
Have you ever built your own lures or tied your own baits or molded anything?
I have molds. I have molds for doing pouring plastics and
Do you
stuff.
save your old plastics and do it?
I did, but I never used it. And you know what? All you can get is black out of them. Once you start mixing, and if
Yeah.
there's fleck in it, it's no good. It sparks and.
Yeah. What about you?
No, can't say that I've ever really tied any of my own flies or.
See, I want to get into fly fishing. I think I said the first episode, but I want to tie flies. I want to tie my own hair jigs.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Here, I've tied hair jigs.
I'm gonna sit there in front of the fire, in front of that wood stove all winter, just looking at stuff. I get one sweet magnifying glasses.
Yeah, I want to get into pouring some plastics. I think I'd like to do that over the winter.
and just try something. Get the right
Yeah, I want to get a mold, and then I want to change that mold a little bit.
Yep.
Mess around with it a little bit. See if I can
Get the Dremel out.
Yeah, get the Dremel out and make flappers
shape.
a little deeper and mess around. Right.
What would you call it?
The one.
The one.
The one. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Well, guys, I've had a great time tonight. This is a lot. I love doing these are so much fun for me, and I love the feedback we're getting.
Yeah, me too.
And honestly, though, like what we need from the people out there, and we're not calling fans. I hate that word. That's not what you are. You guys are friends. You're a community. You're a fishing community.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Please.
It would mean the world to us. So follow us on Instagram. Follow the CanCast Fishing page on Facebook. Like and subscribe us on YouTube. Share the links. Comment. Guys, it would mean the world to us. If you like what we're doing, if you're any interested in getting involved, whether it's with the podcast as a sponsorship, the trade show coming up, anything, please reach out to us. Message us. We would love to, work with everybody we can in the fishing community. And I want to thank you guys again. I want to thank Woody. Like Woody is, I feel like Woody needs to be a guest on here one night. Woody's had some fishing adventures lately.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
really cool stuff.
Yeah, this has just been phenomenal, and I really look forward to doing this every couple weeks. So I think, before we wrap this up, I want to thank everybody that supports the show. I want to thank all the great brands that I represent that allow me to do what we do. I want to thank YOLO Tech for stepping up for these first few episodes and sponsoring this. Remember, guys, you can check them out, yolotech.ca. They're also available in multiple dealers around here. You can always be recording. And one thing I've noticed about this lately is I wish I recorded a lot more. And what's awesome about this is you can put it on the YOLO Tech, run your GoPro all day, and you caught a big fish, go back, pull it out. You don't have to worry about hitting the on-off button, just let it go. Full power all day. No batteries.
It would have been cool to have those on the tinnies.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Cancast tin boat is going to have two of these, a back and a front.
Oh, wow. My kind of girl.
All right. Well, before we go, you guys got anything you want to say or any shirts you want to discuss? Or
I just want to say thanks to everybody that's reached out and said, they're loving the podcast and stuff. It's really appreciated and lets us carry on. And until next time, Shawn, say something smart.
Okay. If you're going to let your wife carry him around in her purse, make sure she doesn't lose one and your buddy turns it into a keychain.
I don't even think I can I don't even think I can follow that.
I'm going to hang it from my rearview mirror.
Yeah.
I hope it breaks your windshield.
All right.
It won't.
Remember, don't ever cut anybody off on the water. Thanks, guys. Have a great night, great week, great weekend. Good luck to everybody on the water and be safe.